Ladies and gentlemen, KocoSports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. And of course, you got half the Koco crew here holding it down live. Yours truly, sexiest man on all Internet Wrestling Radio, tired as fuck himself. Boom, boom, here's Shaking the Room, live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. Of course, joining me there way across the pond in England, the master of beef Wellington himself, talking about none other than LK. What's up, buddy?
Interesting fact, I've never had a beef Wellington in my whole entire life. Legit shoot, never had a beef Wellington in my whole entire life.
I've had one in my life once. And all it was a very rare steak.
Jeez. I'm not a fan of steak. Like, I like it really well done to the point where it's chewy. Then I'm like, I may as well have beef and save myself fucking £10. So today's show, we're going to be covering SmackDown Live and 205 Live. Internet Inventory watching now, put in the comments do give. We're going to cover SmackDown Live first, and then we'll do 205 Live, and then we'll go to comments at the end, and the Name and Shame Game Roman Reigns special, which is going to be fucking hilarious. So, Booms, let's get this started. Let's get rocking and rolling, because I know it's very late your time. Win, loss, or tie. We're going to cover SmackDown first, because it happened first. So, Booms, win, loss, or tie for SmackDown.
SmackDown, I'm going to give it a tie. It was just kind of like in a holding pattern. I don't think this was their original plan, and you could kind of tell, and they were just kind of like treading water, and there was just, it was an okay show. It wasn't horrible, but they really didn't break a lot of new ground, so that's why I'm giving it a tie.
I'm giving it a tie too. I generally did give it a tie. It's just, it happened. Like, it's so forgetful. Like, everything. And it's just like the pay-per-view was a tie, Raw was a tie, SmackDown's a tie. They're not doing anything bad. They're just not doing anything fucking good. Which is the fucking story of their whole fucking...
It's kind of like, it's like in sports when you have a team that plays not to lose. That's what I feel like WWE's doing right now. They're playing not to lose. They're not playing to win. And, and you just can't do that.
No, it's fucking embarrassing.
You don't get anywhere. You don't make any progress, is what I'm trying to say. Is you've got to play to win. You've got to play to hook that audience, to get those viewers, to sell that merchandise, to get people to watch the next show, to buy the tickets. You've got to tell a compelling story, and you have to risk failure instead of okay, well, what can we do to kind of maintain this demographic here? We're comfortable with the numbers here. What do we think the fans kind of want? And I feel like that's what WWE's doing right now.
Whoa, that was a meow.
Yes.
Firstly, Booms,
yeah.
I want to say well done with making this show Christmassy. You have the Christmas tree in your background.
Yes.
This show has a Christmas feel to it. We're now in the Christmas spirit. I need to get something Christmassy up here, wherever I don't know what the fuck I can get in there. Some tinsel or some garbage like that. So, do you want to break it down, or shall I? Choice is yours.
No, I will break it down here. I'll break it down.
You break it down.
Start out with AJ Styles coming out in street clothes. He suffered a quote-unquote minor ankle injury at the pay-per-view. He was not allowed to wrestle at a house show on the 5th, which was Monday night. And so he came out in the boot saying, he's still the champion. He even made fun of his tights tear, which, God bless him. If that would have been me, I don't know if I could have been able to wrestle with half my ass hanging out.
And the fact that he wrestled better than 99% of the professional wrestlers out there is just a testament to how great he is.
Mm-hmm. So he made fun of that, and he talked about everything, and then this, of course, brought out James Ellsworth, and he just said, you know what? The only difference between me and Ambrose is I know when to stop beating you. Ambrose doesn't, and he's going to come and get you. You've done burned that bridge. And sure enough, Dean Ambrose's music hits. He walks straight out there. Ellsworth goes to shake his hands. Ambrose immediately hits him with dirty deeds and then turns right back around and walks the F out, right back out. So I thought that was a pretty good opening segment. I don't know. I didn't get to hear your take on the Ellsworth heel turn. I think it was stupid, and I think it was stupid because it seems to me like they were setting it up for Dean Ambrose to turn heel because it would have made sense. He was taking advantage of this, this little lanky guy to get under AJ Styles' skin, to put him in a good position for him to win the WWE Championship. And that seemed to be the only logical conclusion for that because, frankly, Ambrose was coming off as like a dick because here he is exploiting this guy, for his own ends and, basically getting this guy hurt every week. And it's like the writing team realized it and said, oh, shit, we don't want to really turn Ambrose heel because we really don't have any other baby faces right now set up to challenge Styles. So, I got an idea. Let's have Ellsworth turn heel. Let's have him turn on Dean Ambrose. We'll give a lame reason, but yeah, we could try that. And it still doesn't make any sense. From a storytelling point of view, it really doesn't make any sense.
I mean, to play devil's advocate, the only thing that they kind of can say that it made sense for was that Ellsworth cost Ambrose the belt because he wanted AJ to retain because he has that World Championship match and he knows he can beat AJ because he's done it 3 times, whereas he thinks he doesn't want to face Ambrose. And then him saying, Dean would have done the same thing. You're meant to be friends, so it makes him look like a douchebag, but you calling it a heel turn, to me, I think they tried to do it so that he wasn't a heel on this show. I think the way he was that he was trying to keep babyface. But what I don't like is, on their Twitter machine, that being WWE's and commercials, they were hyping the fuck. Even in the intro package, they were hyping up AJ Styles, James Ellsworth. And for them to hype it so much when they knew AJ couldn't wrestle is scummy and dirty. Imagine how many people were
I think it was a part of the original plan. I think it was booked. It was ready to go. They just didn't anticipate that ankle injury, so they had to immediately, scrapped the plans and pushed it back for at least another week.
But why didn't they, they must have known before Tuesday night that was the case. AJ didn't wrestle at the house show last night because he wasn't medically cleared, so they knew. But they still promoted it at the start of the show. It was a video packaging highlighting that match. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely insane. It really, really is. And also this 4-man commentary team, and it's beginning to fucking annoy me.
Dude, don't even get me started on the 4-man commentary team. That is 2 guys too many. For one, I didn't know Tom Phillips was even out there. 2/3 of the time. I think I could probably count on one hand how many fucking lines he got out. They step on each other. They talk over each other. They're trying not to get mad at each other. And it turns into a goddamn Chinese fire drill.
It's insane. I mean, you got David Otunga, who's insanely bad at his job. You've got JBL, who's okay. You've got Mauro Ronaldo, who can call the show better by himself. And you've got Tom Phillips, who is the host, and all he does is going, up next on SmackDown Live, we have the Hype Bros. And dude, what's the point of having you on there? Why can't Mauro do that? It's just a waste. And it's he can be a backstage. Instead of having these fucking bimbos, these whores, do the interview, at least Tom Phillips has a resemblance of some kind of character. Do Tom Phillips do the interview on SmackDown instead of these bimbos and whores doing it who are robots? Jeez.
Yeah, I still don't know the point of a 4-man. That, to me, that's overkill.
Yeah, it's literally it's going to end up where the whole fucking they're going to have to not sell front row tickets on one side because that will be the fucking commentary team. It'll just be a whole
shit. I'm surprised they haven't invited me and you yet.
They wouldn't do that because you can imagine me having to put fucking Zack Ryder over as a babyface.
Oh no! Here's my impression of LK having to put over Zack Ryder. No, that's not going to do it. Okay. He's got a beard. Okay, he's got a lot of energy. Okay, his girlfriend's really hot. Okay, he's keeping Mojo Rawley out of the ring. He does moves. I like tater tots. That would be.
I mean, I guess if I could really try and think of something that I could put Zack Ryder over for, I mean, he must be a good ladies' man if he got Emma. But I mean, he sometimes wears nice gear.
God.
Sometimes I think that, like, generally it's like literally to the point where this guy sent me a tweet. I think, let me get his name up. This guy called @AlexCauldron on Twitter. He tweeted me basically saying, "Hype Bros won. Does that make it a loss for you?" and tagged me in it. I hate this man so much. People on Twitter send me fucking Twitter messages telling me, "Oh, you hate this show now because Zack Ryder's on it." That is my proudest accomplishment, that the world now knows of my unalterated hatred for Zack Ryder. I'll take that to the grave, as well as hopefully him. Fucking imbecile. We'll fucking get on with this review.
All right. Next, we come up to the first match of the night, which is a rematch from 2 nights ago. The SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. The new champions, the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, taking on the former champions Heath Slater and Rhino. This was, I thought it was an okay match. Again, this is kind of the thing I hate about like the Monday or the shows after pay-per-views, because they just turn around and they give you the same match for free. Again, I mean, I would love to have seen like something backstage about, what their new Heath Slater, Rhino, well, what went wrong? Well, what are you going to change? What's your strategy going in tonight? Why, because they just kind of had to have the commentary team explain, well, they immediately wanted to, invoke their rematch clause. I thought it was an okay match. Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt get the win. The ending came when Bray Wyatt had Slater set up for his sister Abigail, tagged in Randy Orton. Instead of like flipping him, slamming him into the mat, he pushes him backwards into Randy, who gives him an RKO right there. They get the pin, they get the win. Hopefully we're going to move on to other things. Now, do you think they've done this because Vince McMahon or whomever has just completely soured on Heath Slater and Rhino?
I mean, that's a possibility. I don't know. I think that I said this on the prediction show, I think, for TLC. I said that going forward, they should do Wyatt family versus American Alpha. Now, Slater and Rhino done their course. One of them needs to turn heel. Whichever one, that's tough. Like, you can't have Rhino turn heel, but you don't want Slater to turn heel because he's done so well as a face. Either way, they're fucked. They should just stay as a team, stay in the title mix every now and then. Be like the Usos, they get a title match every now and then. They don't win, but hey-ho. Mm-hmm. But the Wyatt family, I am pleading for a Wyatt family versus Alpha match at the Rumble. I'm pleading for it. And I really like the entrance music of Randy Orton, where he goes, "I hear voices," and then it turns into real dark, and then the Bray Wyatt video package turns up, and Randy Orton's involved in the package now. I think it sells the team a lot better, and I think WWE are redeeming themselves for because even though the Bray Wyatt Daniel Bryan turning on Bray Wyatt was great, like that moment was generally really good, but I think with Randy Orton, this is going to be a slow build, and I think it's going to lead to a Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. And have Randy Orton cost Bray Wyatt the tag titles, out Rumble, American Alpha, get the belts in front of 70,000 people at the Alamodome. Fucking easy. Easy money. But I like it. I like they have their finisher now. It was alright. It was like at TLC. And like you said earlier, it's just, why bother paying for TLC when you got everything? You even got a title match in the main event. Like, what was the point? You got 2 title matches that you literally saw the night before. It's just not good. But we'll move on.
Next, there was a quick backstage segment where Kalisto was warming up Dasha Fuentes. Apparently, Kalisto, he called for a rematch against Baron Corbin after he lost their chairs match on Sunday, saying that, I feel my body feels like I've been through a car wreck, but I've got speed. And you know what they say, speed kills. Then they go out to what was supposed to be a match between Carmella and Natalya. Carmella went out there and immediately started cutting a promo. She was actually kind of putting over Nikki Bella after she just beat the shit out of her 2 nights earlier. called her, you're the runner up to the prom queen. You're always going to be second best. I heard Natty bragging about pulling Tanya Harding, which, by the way, unless you're like my fucking age, you don't get that reference.
Dude, I didn't get that reference. I have zero idea who she talked about. And are you talking about the girl who was with Nikki Bella in the backstage segment?
No.
Okay, now, I wasn't 100% sure if you were joining me, because I know it was late and I worried you'd have fallen asleep, so I took notes. I didn't write that down because I didn't know who that woman was, and they didn't explain who it was.
Exactly. This happened right around 1992. It was just before it was early 90s. I remember it was like a Winter Olympics. There was a figure skater, Nancy Kerrigan, who was really good. And so this Tanya, and allegedly, the story goes that Tanya Harding, wanted to get rid of some competition so she could make the U.S. Olympic team, and had a guy smack Nancy Kerrigan in the kneecap with a pipe. And he did attack her, he did hurt her, but it wasn't like bad. Like, she got medical attention, was able to drive herself home later that day. So, but Tanya Harding, after that whole scandal, just became synonymous with, underhanded tactics. So that's like a reference from like the early 90s. So I don't even know if you were even born. I mean,
92, I wasn't born.
Yeah, you were just a gleam in your daddy's eye.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. The segment. I mean, Natalia chases her, and then she's absolutely blown up backstage. Even I would have been blown up for running that. Like, she literally
then she runs right into Nikki Bella. I think what happened was, I think they pre-recorded this. That's why they took so long to get backstage. But that aside, there's Nikki Bella just standing there in the hallway, and there's Natty's like, oh, you can't believe anything that Carmella says, and Nikki just kind of stares at her. I'm like, waiting for the rumble here. No, she just turned around and walked away, and I'm like, okay, so this is not a match. This is okay. You're not going to go pull it back. Okay, fuck that. We're moving on. I hate that.
It's just The thing is, SmackDown is the A show, but from time to time their stories are pretty poor. But they put effort in, so I'll give them that.
Next, Baron Corbin got his rebuttal, saying that basically compared Kalisto to a mosquito. Said, yeah, they're fast. They buzz around until they land on me, then splat. Then next we go out to a tag team match. It's the Ascension versus the Hype Bros. And if you really need me to explain what actually happened here, you don't watch WWE enough. Because, I mean, what you think happened. The Hype Bros won. By the way, I know who the Hype Bros remind me of now, and this is another early 90s reference. Does anybody else besides me remember the Dynamic Dudes?
Who?
Exactly. No, it was a tag team, I believe, WCW, early 90s. It was the tag team of Johnny Ace, John Laurinaitis, and Shane Douglas. They were two guys. They were walking 90s stereotypes. I mean, they had like the neon colors. They had backwards baseball caps, and they came out on skateboards. I don't think they actually used the skateboards for skating. Like, they carried them out to the ring. I think they might have used them as a weapon once or twice.
Was this Johnny Ace? Was it Johnny Ace? Johnny Laurinaitis, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've heard of it. I think I've seen it in documentaries with maybe a build-up to John Laurinaitis and John Cena at whatever fucking pay-per-view that was in 2012. Maybe. But I do remember John Laurinaitis with a skateboard.
Yeah, that's what they remind me of. And by the way, Raleigh looked fucking horrible. Raleigh looked like he's put on about 10, 15 pounds.
Dude,
I'm not talking muscle either.
I did not watch it. I cannot comment. I literally, what I did is, the Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder came out. I went like this. I took it off, put it at the side. I got my glass. Just like this. I went out that door. I then filled it up with some amazing Pepsi Max. I got the cherry one. Look, no added sugar, so it keeps me up, but I get the same taste. I then went for a piss. I then came back. I sat down, checked my Twitter, and some guy's telling me the Hype Bros won. and I moved on with my life and pretend it didn't happen, which I'm now going to do to every Hype Bros match because I'm sick and tired of coming here and saying the same damn thing about it.
I mean, they won with the hype rider. I mean, that's all you really need to know. Connor and Victor had some new paint jobs, but that was about it. I honestly pity the Ascension now.
Sorry for them, don't you? Poor bastards.
I do. I feel bad for them. It's like, you know, like I don't know if you do this over in England, but over in here in the U.S., we have what we call angel trees, and usually set them up in like department stores. You know, so places like Target, Walmart, places like that. It's basically like a little Christmas tree, and it's got these little angel tags on them. And what it is, you know, you take a tag. The idea is you take a tag off, and it says, you know, this is such and such. He's a 10-year-old boy, and he really wants a basketball. And so what you do is you go buy a basketball and you attach that, and Angel Tree makes sure it gets to that. And I just feel so bad. It's like I want to adopt the Ascension. I want to like, this is Victor and Connor. They are a tag team. They just want a fucking win. It's like, you know what, Victor? You know what, Connor? Me and LK, we'll job for you. We'll put you over. I'll lay down. I'll do the JOB for you, bro.
I'll be on the side making starting fuck you Ryder. That's what I'll be doing on the side. No, I'm not wasting any of my bump cards on Ascension. Poor bastard. Just fucking get out of that. Like, the thing is with the Ascension, do you really think that if they quit WWE that they would be some big time stars on the indies? Which is why I think they're just having to stay there thinking, you know what, at least we're getting paid.
You know, I think what they would do, and if I was them, you know, and I mean, because it's going to happen. I think this is my prediction. I think after Mania, they're going to do a spring cleaning like they always do. They're going to get featured endeavored. Their 90-day no-compete clause is going to run out. Then I think they're going to, I mean, they're still going to be the Ascension. They're still going to be Victor. They're still going to be Connor. But I think they're going to kind of repackage themselves. And then they're going to, and if I were them, I would go hit every fucking indie circuit, any place that would book me. And I would try to get booked like the second coming of the Road Warriors.
I mean, they could do. I mean, it's difficult though because you know they were treated on TV as such jobbers. So if I'm an indie booker and I'm thinking, you know what, if I bring these guys in to beat my top team, to the casual eye, like to the just people who are going there for the local shows, they're the jobbers on TV beating our main guys. So they got to be careful. That's the issue. Like with Ryback and Cody, I think it's different because they at least had big time stories. But with the Ascension, they haven't, and they lose on TV regularly. If they went to the Indies and beat a top indie team, to the casual eye, that'll be, oh my god, these people aren't worth looking at. The Ascension beat them.
I guess what I would do then is say that, you know what, we were held back in WWE. We were told we couldn't do this. We were told we couldn't do that. We told we had to give these tag teams, just give them 7 minutes. Just see, you know, and it's like, but you know what, we cooperated. Well, guess what? We're done cooperating. We're done playing nice. And I would just have them go. And the first thing I would do to kind of get their credibility back is just fucking, not a top tag team, but fucking just destroy somebody. I mean, fucking wreck them.
You know what they'll do though? They'll go to TNA because they left WWE. It's what like Sylvester LaForte and that bald geezer went to TNA. I think the Ascension will. LK, what is the Dissension doing in the Impact Zone? Oh, that was Tom West, fellas. Do you remember when it was when Mike Tenay is like, I know that's WWE star Mike Knox. It's like you just bury yourself. I miss Mike Tenay so much. Like, there's a place in my heart waiting for Mike Tenay connected to my ear. I'm just waiting.
I never thought I'd say this, but in a small way, not by much, but in a small way, I kind of miss Don West.
Dude, that guy is the best salesman in history.
No, I mean, my God, it would be like, oh my God, Tenay, I've never seen anything like it. He just extended his leg out. That's called a kick, Don. Oh my God, it's the most insane maneuver ever.
Dude, that guy could sell you a fucking Pepsi Max for $25. That's how fucking great that man is. Unbelievable. I tell you what, if I had a business and I wanted to do a TV advert, I would call Don West to sell my stuff. He's that fucking good.
All right. Next, we have the Miz TV. He welcomes in Dean Ambrose. He tries to get him hot, saying, "Oh, you got to be angry. You got to be angry. You came this close to winning the WWE Championship at TLC, and it just kind of got yanked out. You know, your guy turned your friend turned his back on you, and kept hyping him up. And then he said, you know what? I'm going to give you an award. I'm going to give you, the Miz Participation Award. You may not have won, but hey, at least you tried." And this got Ambrose hyped up a little bit more. Daniel Bryan came out and said, "Oh, well, you two need to save it because it's going to be, you two are going to have the main event match tonight. It's going to be Dean Ambrose versus Miz." And, oh, the crowd's chanting yes. Oh, I guess it's because you wanted this to be an Intercontinental title match. Well, there you go. It's going to be for the championship. So there you go. Miz, I can't fucking stand him. And I know some people are like, "Oh, he's just really good at his job. He's a heel. He's supposed to have you hate him." I'm like, no, I just don't like him. Period.
I'm the opposite. I thought
it's nothing to do with his character. I just don't like him.
I was like that until this year, and he's really improved this year. He impresses me a lot. That was such a prick move, and I just really like it. I mean, I love Daniel Bryan as much as the next guy. Talking to the crowd, I feel like he's talking to kids with really big mental problems. Like, do you guys want an Intercontinental title match? Like, he's talking to like I'm a 6-year-old with mental issues. Now, nothing against 6-year-old with mental issues, of course, but I am not that. Well, I might be, in my next rebirth, and I hope I have a great life when I'm reborn. If I even am reborn. I might not be reborn, I might just die. Who the fuck knows? I might be reborn as Zack Ryder's pet. Imagine that. I die before Zack Ryder, I come back as Zack Ryder's pet, and I fucking murder the man. That's how I'm gonna murder. That's the cause of death for Zack Ryder, murdered by a cat. Unbelievable. I just don't like the way he talks to the crowd. But I love the Miz, unlike you. I hate dummy Dean Ambrose though. I just don't give a fuck about him. I really don't.
Oh my god, Dean Ambrose, man, his run, I thought this was going to be his year. He had a lot of momentum going with him earlier this year. He gets the championship, and then everything goes tits up for him. I mean, everything. I mean, he has a bad run as champion. He's been doing the best he can to stay relevant on the SmackDown roster. I mean, it has not been good.
It's like he's really comfortable in his position, and he feels that he doesn't have to try as much as he did before. Because before he was trying to break out that shell and become a top guy. Now he's a top guy. He feels like, okay, I'm a top guy. I'm a made man now. I've been a world champion. I don't really need to fucking do much to impress anyone. But it's set up the main event, I guess. So
yeah, set up the main event. Next, we have a return match from 2 nights ago from TLC. We have Kalisto versus Baron Corbin. This time a regular match. This match really never got going. It was about a 3-minute match. Kalisto got some of his shit in, but during when he was trying to do another torn, like set him up from like a flying head scissors, Corbin stopped him mid swing, hit him end of days, gets the win. Hopefully this feud's going to be over with. At least I hope, because Kalisto, man. Dear God, they need to do something. They need to put him in a different feud or move him to 205 Live.
You know what? I do agree. But this Baron Corbin, for the second show in a row, I've really enjoyed his matches. I really enjoyed that TLC match, and I really enjoyed this match.
I hate Corbin.
Dude, I was the same, but everyone on SmackDown who I hate, minus the Mojo Rawley and the Zack Ryder, the Baron Corbins and the Mizes, I'm actually really liking them. I'm actually excited to see where Baron Corbin goes. Like, I actually think he's turning into a really good wrestler. Like, that counter to the end of days was brilliant. I really enjoyed the spiked run.
Well, here's the thing. Corbin is only good in small doses.
And this was small. And he was against small people.
Exactly. That's the thing. When he started out in NXT, it was how fast can I squash somebody? I mean, the crowd actually started counting. The crowd would just go 1, 2, 3, and eventually just keep going till he hit end of days in 1. And then he started wrestling longer matches. It wasn't so good. Then he started wrestling tag matches. Then he started wrestling with veterans. And then the longer he kept going, the worse he got. And to me, he just can't wrestle a long match. If you can keep him under 5 minutes, he's fine. But if you go over 5, it's just the only reason he is on that main fucking roster is because, one, he used, and I do stress, used to play in the NFL. He is over 6 feet tall, and Vince McMahon can masturbate to his photo. That's it. That's the only reasons he's on that main roster right now.
If Baron Corbin gave Vince McMahon a birth certificate that said he was born in the island of Samoa, I think he would right now be WWE World Champion. But sadly, he wasn't. Poor bastard. If I went to WWE, I'd literally just say I'm Samoan. I'd be like, Vince, I'm Samoan. I am the distant 5th cousin of The Rock. Make me your world champion. No problem. I'll take steroids.
You don't even have to go that far. You just tell them, just find some obscure WWF superstar from back in the 80s and say, oh, you know me, I'm the son of Outlaw Ron Bass.
But I'm Samoan, Vince.
They'll be like, oh, he'll give you a job. Fuck it.
I remember him. He was a great man.
Let's see. Next, we have American Alpha. Actually, no, it's one-on-one here. You had Chad Gable representing American Alpha, taking on Tyler Breeze, representing Breezango. This was just a one-on-one match.
You know what? Don't want to cut you off here. I love these men too much. Can we not talk about this? Because I love these men too much. I really like Tyler Breeze and I really like Chad Gable. And what they're doing with them is insulting.
Yeah, that is so bad. American Alpha, they WWE, I don't know what the fuck they were. Here's what I think they were doing. I think they didn't want them to peak too soon. They didn't want to just put them on the roster, hot shot them to the top, and have them win the tag team titles. So they're like, okay, let's cool them down. Let's just kind of keep them, let's kind of build them up, and just try to keep them out of the tag team title picture. They've inadvertently, and I hate using this word, but they've inadvertently buried them.
It's the opposite of Enzo and Cass. I think they've done a decent enough job of keeping Enzo and Cass relevant. But with American Alpha, they are over because of their in-ring ability. If they are not in the ring, they are not over. They need to be in that ring. Have them have a fucking rivalry with the Usos. They need to win. Have a rivalry with the Usos. Have a rivalry with the Ascension. Get the Ascension over. Build the Ascension using the star power of Alpha, and then have Alpha beat them, and then go over. That way you're building 2 teams at once. The Ascension don't need to be unemployed, and it'll be all fucking well and dandy in the end, but they just don't. What did that gain?
Yeah, remember they had Enzo and Cass feud with the Shining Stars, and it was like, well, why would they do this? Because if they beat them in the feud, there's nothing else for them to fucking do.
There is no they obviously are going to go for the tag titles, both teams. Enzo and Cass on Raw, Alpha on SmackDown. It's just in between these title wins, they're just depressing, and it upsets me a lot.
Oh, and by the way, the whole fashion police thing, I swear to God, it looks like, Tyler Breeze, Fandango, now starring in a gay porn.
Yeah, there's no way they're not sucking each other's cock backstage with those outfits on. There's no way. They'll be fucking doing...
Jesus Christ, there's gay people calling them fags.
I hate that word. I say some atrocious words, but the one thing, I hate the word faggot. You're gay, yeah, that's different. But I hate it when people call...
So what you're saying is you don't like people calling other people short bundles of sticks?
No, I'm just I don't care if people call each other whore or sluts or dick or prick or cunt or bastard or piece of shit or son of a bitch, but when someone calls someone a faggot, it offends me. Okay, it offends me. I have no idea why, but it offends me.
So do not call anyone a cigarette or a short small bundle of sticks around LK.
No, I get a bit cranky. I don't know why. I really don't know why I care. I think it's because I'm not sexist and I'm not... What's the thing? I'm not... what's it called? I'm not fucking where you don't like people bashing gay or lesbians. What's that called?
You say you're not homophobic.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not homophobic and I'm not sexist. So I kind of don't like... if you were like, oh, you're a woman, that means you're lower class. I don't like that. I really don't like that. I don't like racist. I don't like the N-word. I don't like shit like that. So N-word... faggot, disrespecting women, which is why I'm a bit dodgy with Lucha Underground with the sexy start. Yeah, I'm just not a fan. Sorry.
Oh God, I missed you. Okay.
IC match. Oh, we had Alexa Bliss. Speaking of women,
We had Alexa Bliss. This lasted about as long as a fart in a hurricane here. Alexa Bliss came out. By the way, congratulations to Alexa Bliss. That is, dude, I'm just completely blown away by Alexa's body of work this year.
Yeah,
she is somebody. Think about this. She never won the NXT championship, the NXT Women's Championship. Excuse me. She was in the hunt for it, but she never won it. And then she comes up to SmackDown. I mean, she just takes the ball. I think she's one of the few NXT stars who did better on the main roster than she did in NXT.
Yeah,
she's done absolutely amazing.
If you had your top 10 list or even top 5 list of NXT wrestlers that went up and did really well, Bliss is already up there in there, like really, really well. Good for her. And it's just. When we always do our end of year awards, like we always have a most improved category. If Alexa Bliss does not get the win from all 3, something's wrong. Like, damn, unbelievable. Like, if you take January, she wasn't even wrestling on a regular basis. She was with fucking Buddy Murphy and Wesley Blake, who are going to be unemployed very shortly. And now she's the women's champion and probably, in my opinion, one of the best women's wrestlers in that company. That's just bravo. Just bravo.
And I like what they tweaked her gimmick just a little bit, because notice they gave her the Harley Quinn gimmick.
Yeah. I still have not seen Suicide Squad. I don't think I want to.
But yeah, I'm not interested in going to the movie. I shouldn't say that, because I'm planning on going to see Rogue One when that comes out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I might go to that as well. I don't know though, because I don't know who to go with, because not a lot of my friends are Star Wars fans, or if they are. She doesn't like Star Wars. She generally really hates Star Wars.
Then you know what? You just need to break up with her, because you don't need that kind of negativity in your life.
Dude, I've put the first one on the Phantom Menace, and she fell asleep by the time we were introduced to Jar Jar Binks.
Oh no! Don't. We shall never ever speak of the prequels. Never. None of them.
So what? So she gets to get out of jail. She'll be like, "Oh, I want to watch the prequels first."
No, you don't.
That was my fault. That was my fault. I do apologize. I let all the men down in the world there. But let's get to the segment.
Basically, Alexa Bliss comes out. I think she actually let the word "bitch" slide. Because she was saying, you're saying you told me something that. I think she meant. I think what she meant is, she was saying like, "Oh well, I heard Becky Lynch call me something that rhymes with witch last week. Well, let me tell you something." I think what she meant to say was, this witch now runs the SmackDown women's division, but I think she was kind of like, the adrenaline was pumping, and she said, well, now this little bitch runs the SmackDown women's division. I'm like, oh, fuck.
But with that being said, you know what, yesterday on Raw, there was a sex scene, give or take, a beating up scene where a glass is smashed on the head. You had loads of people swearing all night. I mean, I'm not one of these people go, the Attitude Era is coming back. The Attitude Era is coming. I'm not one of these guys. But they are getting a bit edgy with their language. Maybe they're just trying to test the boundary, see how far they can go about the USA Network ramming a cock down Vince's throat.
Well, actually, I don't think the USA Network minds, because they have programming that constantly has vulgarity in it. I think what they're going to push the boundaries with is sponsorship. Because
advertisements.
If you've got like Mattel and McDonald's and all these other companies, buying advertising time, and all of a sudden this starts happening. I think if they start to go too far, the advertisers are going to be like, hey, you need to back off here. We're going to start pulling, cutting back, and I think that's maybe what they could be doing, or it could just be a slip up on Bliss's part. But Bliss's part. It could when she said bitch, that just could have been, instead of her WWE pushing the envelope, it just could have very well been a slip up on her part.
Yeah, no harm, no foul. No harm, no foul.
I think, and here's another thing, and I like to, I can tell Dave Koco this: if you ever just mess up on something, just keep going like nothing happened. Don't draw any attention to it. Just pretend like whatever, it was no big deal. Don't sit there and apologize for it profusely. Just, it was a slip up. Just keep going. Try to make everybody forget that it actually happened. You know, so, I mean, it's what happened with AJ Styles and his, you know, tights ripped. You know, it's like, I mean, he's wrestling like more than half the match with his ass hanging out, and you know, and the commentary did not talk about it. The camera operator, you know, photographers started adjusting their shots. I mean, they just kind of, you know, just kind of swept it on the rug, tried to skirt around it as much as they could. And I think that's what WWE's doing with this. But I think we're making too big of a deal out of it. But Becky Lynch came out there. Bliss said, you know, oh, well, you know, this invitation says no losers allowed. You know, Lynch called her like a petulant little girl. This led to a little bit of a scuffle here. Bliss ran off with her championship. I'm actually looking forward to a rematch between these two.
Yeah, me too. I want to see it 1-on-1. I really wish that the match at TLC wasn't a tables match, but what can you do about it?
Next year we have the match for the Intercontinental Championship match. Dean Ambrose versus The Miz. Ambrose takes control kind of early on. Miz comes back with a figure 4 leg lock. Ambrose forces a rope break. It looked like Ambrose hit a short DDT on The Miz. Maurice causes a distraction. James Ellsworth comes out there to kind of point out Maurice's interference. This gives The Miz the opportunity to hit Ambrose with the skull-crushing finale, and The Miz gets the win. Miz, you know, gets the win. This is about a 13, 14-minute match. I thought it was okay. I really did. I thought it was an okay main event. And I will say this: WWE has let the bad guy finally say something and back it up, because Miz has said, you know, I am in the main event. I'm a main event player. I should always be in the main event. Well, so far he has been.
Yeah, I mean, I did. The match itself wasn't bad. These ET runnings are getting a bit irritating. Like, dude, can this jobber fuck off? Like, please, you're doing the same thing every night. You can Dean Ambrose murder this man, send him in a box, throw him to Orlando to NXT? I do not want to see this jobber out here anymore. For the love of God. If he's not taking... I mean, I understand the story where they're going down, and, you know, Ambrose is going to cost Ellsworth his world title match, and then they're going to do Ambrose and Ellsworth, where Ambrose obliviates him. But I just don't care. I really don't. But the match was okay. It was like 2.25, 2.5 star match of the night. But, oof. So, that was SmackDown. We both gave it time. I'm going to go to Name and Shame before we get a 205 live.
Go right ahead.
So, the Name and Shame game for SmackDown, okay, to mix things up. We're doing the Roman Reigns special. Okay, because I only do the Name and Shame during WWE, because WWE is so boring that I have to find something to entertain myself with. So we have 1 Twitter and 3 Facebooks. Twitter, at Kerry Reigns 9285. Remember, this is a human being sending this tweet out to the world to see. This is fun. Today, 2 years ago, I married the love of my life. Babe, people say we wouldn't make it, but here we are. I love you, Roman Reigns. You sad fucking... And then Facebook. Dude, Facebook, the Indians, like, fucking love this man. Go on Facebook, type in Roman Reigns fan page, yeah? You will see Indian after Indian after Indian after Indian pounding this man's ass. So, Basudeb Das says, I loved Roman's aggression. He is the best in WWE. He fighting last end. He fight without any help. He also cool head. I love him. Sultan GS says, I am Jason from India. I am the biggest fan of WWE and you, Roman. Uncle, no one can't beat you. Anyone beat you, they cheat to beat you. My life, Roman, is yours. Arif Hossein, Roman, I love you because you are brave, you are gentle, and you are a true Indian hero. This is just fucking brilliant. This is just priceless. Human beings are actually fucking out there. Oh, she thinks she's married to Roman Reigns, calling herself Kerry Reigns. It's their 2-year anniversary, bless them. I want a special toast to Kerry Reigns and Roman for their 2-year relationship. Unbelievable. Priceless. Let's go to 205 Live.
Yeah, that's, yeah. Illusions of Grandeur. All right, here next. First, we have apparently Alicia Fox and Cedric Alexander are a thing. That's what we start the show off with. But we have Noam Dar versus Cedric Alexander. Um, so Noam Dar goes on the early offensive, started working Cedric's arm, doing the various the Fujiwara armbar, arm submissions. Alexander tried to fire back. Dar had a counter for virtually everything. Uh, Alexander missed the split-legged moonsault. Dar hit him with like a running kick, gets the win. He immediately turns heel, saying, hey, he was asked by, I think it was Dasha Fuentes, if I remember correctly, or it might have been Charlie Caruso, but I don't know. They all look alike here, but they asked him, it's like, how do you feel about when he's like, well, I just won a match here. I signed a big money contract to WWE. How the hell do you think I feel? But I want to dedicate this match to one special woman watching right now. I want to dedicate it to Cedric Alexander's new girlfriend, Alicia Fox. And I'm like, ooh, he's going to be a dick. I like this.
Yeah, I mean, this episode, I gave it a tie. And because we're finally getting character development. And the match itself.
I give it a win, man. I give it a straight up win. I enjoyed it.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, it was an hour of entertaining. Yeah, you know what?
Oh, notice everything. 3-man commentary team: Graves, Ronaldo, and Aries. 2 out of the 3 wrestlers.
Yeah, that's true. Him on commentary was brilliant at the start of the show. He goes, I promise I won't be too good, Mauro, because I know your contract's coming up soon. Mauro starts pissing himself because the guy, Justin Labar, said on Twitter that Mauro's contract's coming up and he's going to be leaving. That's why Tom Phillips is there. Mauro Ronaldo then just puts on his Twitter, I have like years left on my contract. I'm not going anywhere. So that was a very funny thing there. I love the psychology of this. The whole match was based upon Dar working on the arm of Alexander. Alexander went for handsprings and he just pelted his arm. He got the win with the... I wish he got the win with that armbar that he used. I really do wish. But he got the win with his running kicks. Obviously, he wants to get his finisher over for the future. But I thought Alexander sold really well. I thought Dar worked the body part really well. And I thoroughly enjoyed this 2-star, 2.5-star, great opener.
Yeah, I thought it was a great opening match, good psychology, and they kept it in the ring, and believe it or not, the commentary team actually talked about the match. It was great. Then we got a video profile of Mustafa Ali. I really liked the promo. He's from Pakistan. One thing I liked was, it's like these people don't know anything about me, but as soon as they hear my name, they start booing. Well, I'm going to change that. I don't know if he meant like, I'm going to give them something to boo about, or no, I'm going to change their perspective of me. It's like, what, no one can touch me. You want to go strong style, try out my chin. You want to go lucha libre, I'm going to flip all around you. You want to go technical, I'll tie you up in knots. I love this guy's promo. I thought it was spot on. This is one thing I love about 205 Live, the Cruiserweight Classic, is that way we get to know everybody. And everybody matters. We have reasons to care about people. It's great. I think it's one of the few things WWE has been doing right when it comes to their live broadcast now.
I agree.
Let's see here. Perkins wishes Rich Swann luck. They kind of talk about from
dude.
Raw.
I have a now hatred of T. Like, I want to punch him in that cocky, arrogant face of his. Like, just looking at his face makes me want to punch him. Like, and then when he talks, I'm like, you are such an arrogant cunt. Like, literally, arrogant cunt. I want to knock you the fuck out. The mind-blowing thing is, he's a babyface, and he's that arrogant. Imagine him as a heel. Holy shit, this guy will be so much money as a heel. He is such a prick. I want to beat the shit out of his parents for giving birth to this man. Arrogant son of a bitch, and he's a babyface. Imagine being a heel. Unbelievable. They are morons for not... like when he came out to do commentary, he's there chewing gum, going, what that fucking thing is, like an imbecile. Oh, just his suit pissed me off. His hair pisses me off. His glasses piss me off. He just pisses me off in general. Piece of shit. Oh.
Okay, next there we have a return match from Raw. We have Aria Daivari taking on the extraordinary gentleman Jack Gallagher. The focus of this was Gallagher's knee. It was attacked on Raw. Daivari immediately went back to doing the dirty work. Now Gallagher did his best to kind of return the favor by working on the knees of Daivari. But however, he saw an opportunity, kicked him in the leg, went after the knee, ripped off the bandage, kept going after the knees. Eventually, despite Gallagher getting a near fall. I love that headbutt he does, by the way.
Yeah, really nice headbutt.
That's really nice headbutt. Daivari clips the knee, goes to the top, hits I guess they're calling it the lion splash now. But anyway, it does his variation of the frog splash, and he gets the win over Gallagher. You know, as much as I like Gallagher, I really think Daivari needed this win.
Me too.
I think because Gallagher's got the out. He was injured. He wasn't 100%. You know, and he sucked it up and went out there anyway. Took him on. Daivari, he gets the win, so he doesn't like a chump. It looks like, he's actually somebody to be reckoned with. So it's not every time he walks out in the ring, it's like, okay, this guy's got a job again. No, it's, okay, this guy's got a fighting chance. So I really think that worked out.
Yeah, because Gallagher's going to be over no matter what, really, isn't he? Because he's really, I think, at least on the Twitter I'm looking at when I'm doing my name and shame, he's very popular. He's really popular.
He's the most popular wrestler with Sammy.
He's really good. So Gallagher's over. Why not make Daivari over by having him beat Gallagher? Like, it was a good win as well. I really enjoyed it. I thought Daivari was decent here. He impressed me. What I don't like is, though, that...
Speaking of Sammy, I just refreshed. I was looking for something here. This is a tweet from Sammy. I don't think he's watching, but he says, and I quote here, this is on Facebook, "I'm cool with all my wrestling geek friends pulling for whoever they want, even if it's someone I may not like. Unless you like the hype bros. If you do, please do us all a favor and stop being a human being."
Yeah, it's simple. Like, if the whole world just was so anti-hype bros, they could go. Like, what worries me is, like, when they come on these UK tours and I'm staying in London and Zack Ryder's in London, I'm worried that when I'm asleep, I'm going to be, like, consciously killing the man, and then I wake up with blood in my hands. It does worry me. It does worry me. So if I'm not back from the London tour in May, I've killed Zack Ryder. I'm locked up in some London prison cell. I can phone call Ray Mustani while I'm in there. It'd be quite a laugh, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. It'd be worth a chuckle. Next, we get to the main event. We have Rich Swann taking on the Brian Kendrick, as opposed to a Brian Kendrick, for the Cruiserweight Championship. Dude, I was actually kind of blown away by this match. You had, where do I start here? Oh, yeah, TJ Perkins commentary, and this does all come into play a little bit later. The story of this match was Kendrick was locking Swann into the captain's hook repeatedly, was hooking it in, and it was all that Swann could do to get out of it. Swann took back over. He picked up, hit a variation of the Michinoku driver. They went through some counters. They traded blows back and forth, again back to the captain's hook. They went to the outside. There was one spot where Kendrick just slammed Swann into from the ring apron into the ring
LED
post.
board. It was like the big LED board, and it made a really nice sound.
Yeah, yeah. And he goes to the outside, and then Kendrick realizes, oh, crap, I've got to get Swann back in here if I'm going to win this match and win the championship back. He's picking him back up, and Swann pushes Kendrick away and throws him right into Perkins. Kendrick starts staring down Perkins. Perkins gets back up at his face, but they both think better of it. Nobody touches each other. Kendrick goes back in the ring, and he eats a spin kick right to the face. Swann gets the pin, retains the championship. Afterwards, Kendrick goes ballistic. He starts attacking TJ Perkins. Rich Swann, who's halfway up the ring ramp, sees this is going on, was back down there to help his friend. TJP going to go for a super kick on Kendrick misses, accidentally kicks Swan right in the face. This allows Kendrick to then throw TJP into the barricade, and that's how they go off the air. So I really no, it was a really good match.
Yeah, great main event. I gave it 3 stars. So looking back at the tie, I had a 2.5 star and a 3 star, 3.25-ish, and a Gallagher enjoyable match. It was a win. Yeah, I was a bit of a douche for giving that a tie. I did enjoy that. And Aries on commentary taking digs at TJ Perkins every now and then made me love him even more. Like, I wasn't insulting, I wasn't disrespecting Swan. I was disrespecting you. And how long taking the piss out of him for playing video games, just doing everything. I despise TJ Perkins now as much as anything. Like, there's always someone that has to annoy me. In Lucha Underground, you have Sexy Star. In TNA, you have I don't know. I don't particularly hate anyone in TNA really. Ring of Honor is the Briscoes. Monday Night Raw, it's the writers and Vince. SmackDown Live is fucking Zack Ryder, Mojo Rawley. Now 205 Live is fucking TJ Perkins. Like, I despise this man. Like, literally hate him. He annoys me by walking. Like, he can literally just stand there doing that stupid thing he does. Like, what is that? That fucking thing.
He dabs it.
Jesus. Yeah, but he doesn't look cool. He looks like an imbecile. Like, he's a fucking grown man doing that. Like, that's something like my fucking 11-year-old brother would do. Imbecile. Imbecile and his stupid entrance video game music. Jesus Christ. Imbecile. He's not even that good on the... He's awful on the mic. He's so bad at the mic. You could put me in front of 20,000 people. I would cut a better promo than Imbecile on a ring.
I will say this, now that they've hired all these new guys for the Cruiserweight division, I would say take advantage of Full Sail University and send all these guys to promo class.
Oh, dude, there's no way that on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and mostly Sundays that they're not fucking working. They are in that performance center working that W style and working the promos. There's no way about... If they are, they're imbeciles. If they're not, they're imbeciles. Because they probably live in Florida, don't they? Because they have all their housing down there. So they may as well get
well, a lot of people, they just choose to live in Florida because, well, for a couple of reasons. One, it's close to Performance Center. And plus, Florida has no income tax.
Oh, that's why they all live there. They're smart.
A lot of people. That's why a lot of people move out of the northern states where they have either high income taxes, and then they'll just coming down to the. So I don't know what all states do, but I know Florida doesn't have an income tax. I mean, you pay taxes there, but not like an income tax. And plus, I mean, if you go down to South Florida, I mean, it's always warm all the time.
That's
Never
true.
cold.
I guess on their days off, it'll be nice to just walk in the sun, wouldn't it? I guess. Understandable.
I mean, hell, it's Christmas and you're still going to be wearing shorts down in Miami.
Yeah, it's crazy. I went to Florida on holiday a few years back. It was a really nice place. And it was the first time I went to America and I was expecting everyone to be fat. And what I find with America is not many people are fat, but the ones that are fat are fucking fat. Exactly.
If you're going to do something, go all the way. Don't be just a little chubby. Go fucking orca fat.
It's what they are. Andy Papp says, win, so happy Bliss is champ. Tom Phillips and David Otunga should do the first hour of SmackDown. David Otunga shouldn't do any of SmackDown. He should be unemployed. He's asking for the name and shame game. I did. Hope it was funny. This is a straight. Can't wait for Eric Rowan to return. I completely forgot that man had a job. Please, Ryder, come back to New York Wrestling Connection to team up with Big O. I don't know who that is. I can't believe you're suggesting him going on the Indies. Watch TNA sign the Ascension. Raw and SmackDown need new GMs. I don't mind Foley and Bryan. TJP under a mask and never let him talk. You know what? I fucking wish. That would be my dream. TJ Perkins never talking. Thank you, Andy Paps, for the live comments. Thank you, everyone else watching live. Thanks for watching post. And if you're wondering, please comment post live. So once the show's processed and you can comment non-live, hit those comments up. So if you're listening not live right now, hit those comments up because that's how we'll gain traction. Because YouTube's now a dick. They will work now not on your brand scale, but on likes and comments. So really like that like button and definitely leave a comment. Even if it's just something like, oh my god, those name and shame imbeciles are such lowlifes, or LK, you're fucking awesome, or Booms, you're fucking awesome. Comment anything. Or comment that you hate us if you don't like us. But whatever you do, fucking do it and leave a comment.
Don't say that you hate me because I'll cry.
I swear to God, I love being put over and I fucking despise it when someone like the one thing, yeah, that gets under my skin more than anything in the world is, are you ready for it? It gets me. Where's Koco? Like, you're there, it's 5:01 a.m. in the fucking morning, and I'm giving you entertainment, and you're thinking, where's Koco? When we say time after time after time that he has a computer, he's just waiting on internet. So once Dave gets internet, he can join us, but he has jobs, real life, boom, boom, boom. We're covering, you know? People. I guess they might not watch the show, they just click it, see it's us two imbeciles, and think, where the fuck's Dave? And I'm just misleading it, but hey ho. Enough of this, show them why you're the best salesman in the business, Booms.
I want everybody to check us out at KocoSports.com. That's KocoSports.com. It's your home for combat sports. It's where the world goes to kick ass, and most importantly, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. Also, be sure to like and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We got all kinds of shows coming out. Now, let's see. We reviewed TLC. We reviewed Raw. Now we've reviewed SmackDown Live and 205 Live. That means we've got NXT coming up. We've also got Lucha Underground, TNA. Oh, and I can't forget, we've also covered Final Battle with Ring of Honor. Woohoo! So there you go. So be sure to check us out. We got all kinds of stuff coming out all the time. So be sure.
Before that, so people know when we're going live tomorrow. Should we do it like we did, what was that? Should we do like what we just did now, like both reviews in one? So should we watch Lucha Underground live, then watch NXT the hour after that, and then do a Lucha Underground and NXT? I
think we need to just watch. We need to do Lucha Underground after, because we all. Come on, guys. We know what's going to happen on NXT. If you've been on the interwebs this past weekend, you know what's happening on NXT.
How about this then? We'll watch Lucha Underground live, then review Lucha Underground, then watch NXT, and review NXT after. Sound like a plan? We men with a plan.
Sounds like a man with a plan.
Awesome. We have to get our singing in there. There has to be at least one sing song in there.
Exactly.
Has to be. Anyway, let's wrap this up like we were halfway through doing.
I've already said my piece, so it's all left for you to do is hit the button.
You little bastard, right? So Thursday after TNA, we'll be going live with a TNA review. Friday, I have no idea. I might do some indie review, but Saturday and Sunday, I'm so pumped to watch Evolve 74 and Evolve 75. I have the weekend off. It's my birthday weekend. I'm pumped and I'm spending it watching Evolve Wrestling. And Dick Togo versus Chris Hero is on Evolve 74, and I cummed in my pants. I'm so excited to watch those shows live. The minute those shows go off the air, I'll be boom with a review. No day off this. I might take Friday as my day off, actually. So with that being said, stay safe, stay well from Booms, from myself, from Sammy and Dave. We'll be catching your asses down the line.